Hey guys, how you doing? Joe here from 4Runner Overland, and welcome back to our channel. In today's episode, we're going to be installing this. This is what we got. Midland GMRS radio. It's a 15 watt powerful communication system. So let's open it up and show you what's inside. Whoa! So we've got the unit itself. I like this unit because you can hide it away. And that's why I picked this one. Comes also with a power cord, which I'm probably not going to use. I'm probably going to use my own power cord. The hand unit. Because this is the hand unit right here, guys. You can see that. Cable, and look at this. It has a network plug on the end of it. Cat 6 cable, essentially, like an Ethernet cable. And, you know, I'm not going to be using this all the time. And so I'm going to find a spot where I can hide this guy away. And then the only thing I need to do is just run power to it, and then just run an Ethernet cable so that I can plug this guy in. And then how I'm going to do that is I'm going to set up an interface in the car using one of these guys right here. So this guy here, can you see that? It's a waterproof Ethernet connector. So that I'll have this guy mounted somewhere in the car that this guy here can plug into, and then just standard Cat 6 cable that I'll run through the car. So let's go to the car now and go figure out where the heck we're gonna put all this stuff. All right, so we're at the car. We're gonna try to figure some stuff out, but one thing I forgot to mention inside the garage was that the antenna. So let me show you the antenna system, and then we'll get on to figuring out where we're going to install everything, and we'll show you how to do it. So that's the antenna mount. I got this idea from Brad over at Trail Recon. He uses them, he swears by them, he says they're great. And so I was like, well, if he uses them, I'm going to use the one. And so I got it off of Amazon, really inexpensive. And then I got this separate cable here that goes in here. So this brass part is actually part of the cable, not of the bracket. So the bracket is just this part right here and this part that goes on the hood. And this brass part here and the cable itself are part of the cable assembly. And I'll link it all in the description. This cable didn't fit properly, and so I actually had to trim, I don't know if you can see that, but I had to trim away this plastic here. But once I got it trimmed with just a box cutter, it fit up in there. This is really nice and tight, and it fits great now. This piece here is kind of universal. It fits a GMRS antenna, but it can also fit my son's ham radio antenna, so we can take it off and put it on. It has nothing on it right now because I bought the Midland GMRS antenna. It's like $50, pretty expensive, so I didn't want it to get stolen because it literally just screws on and there's no locking. So if I'm not using the radio, I have it off. And what I do is I just store it in the glove box. This is the guy right here. And so this guy literally just screws on right there. So now it's on. So here's how it installs, just with these Allen bolts on the bottom. I have the cable running along here. And then it just runs down, back through there, through the firewall, down here, right on this panel. So that right there is the antenna. One thing I would really like about this antenna is that this piece here, which connects to the radio, actually comes off. And so you can put different connectors on there for different types of antenna connectors. This one fits the Midland. And then this gets very small, so it's very easy to run through the firewall. Let's get on to figure out where we're going to install this radio. I did settle on one spot, and I think it's going to work out best for me. Let me show you some of the options that I came up with. First, there was the back of the car. So this is my panel back here with a fuse box, and I charge up batteries and things like that, and it's just stuck on by Velcro. I was thinking maybe just putting it right in there. I don't know, that wasn't really my favorite option. And then I thought, what about back here? Like in here, that would fit back here, but it was kind of a big pain. Those two options didn't seem that appealing to me. So I looked up front, and the first place I looked up front was in the glove box. So in my glove box here, it does fit. Fits right there. Fits on the side. But I don't know, I store things in here. And then cabin air filter is right here. So I didn't want to block that up right there. So I went on to the other side of the car. I was thinking about under the seats, maybe under the driver's seat. But on the other side of the car, I came down here. I think I found a really good spot for it. There, on that thing, with the hole in it. Up away hidden, that's there. And then let me show you where I'm going to put this guy, okay? What I'm thinking is just on the other side of the transmission tunnel is that right there. And so if I take this panel off, you know, just right on the other, there's some of my wires for the relay panel and the antenna's right there. And then there's a lot of space right here too. So I could literally pop a hole and have this guy just coming out. It'll just be right there. And then from here, it's really easy to connect this end to the radio. And then this guy hangs perfectly right there. This fits perfectly right there. I'm gonna go ahead and get it installed, and then I'll show you guys the results. So here we are under the driver's side. So this spot ended up not working because it just hung down and it interfered with my pedal. So I did find, though, up underneath here, there's that bracket right there. This guy right there, and there's a threaded hole there and it's not being used. And the radio actually fits perfect right there. And the bracket will fit, and then it's just up and out of the way, and it's out of sight. So I'm gonna go ahead and find a bolt that fits in that thread right there, and I'll mount this guy here, this mounting bracket on, and then we'll get it mounted. All right, so there's the bracket installed right there. It turned out to be an M6. So I had an M6 bolt, found it, put it on, tightened it up, and this guy fits perfectly now. Oh, perfect. So it just fits up there nice and tight, and I think I'm ready to hook her up now. So I'm starting to wire up the radio. I want the radio to be off my auxiliary battery, which is right here. The only problem was that the hole for the auxiliary battery, which is in here, and let me just show you from the inside, which is right there. So that guy's getting really full. So luckily, I put an extra wire in that harness right here, and I'm really glad I did. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this wire on the power. This is the harness that came with the radio, and I just cut it up and I put the ends on it, and now I'm gonna go ahead and install it. So I finished the wiring. So that's this guy. This was that white cable in this harness, which I just put some red on there so we know it's a power cable. The little fuse thingy is stuck right here. I don't even know what kind of fuse that is, but it's made for the radio, so it's only gonna power that and relays on the inside, so it can't be that big. And it's connected to this 100 amp breaker right now, not straight to the battery, because this 100 amp breaker, that end goes to the battery, but this end actually feeds my power panel in the back of the 4Runner. And I'm gonna do a separate video kind of doing a walkthrough of that. But all of the auxiliary power at the back of the car, and that 100 amp is feeding pretty much everything back of the car, including the relays and everything. I just put it on there. Now time to hook up the radio. Okay, so I just got it in. So she's in, all the wiring is in, and it's installed. So what I did was, I grounded it right there. You can see that's kind of my ground point. Works great. There's the hole that I put into the firewall that has a bunch of wires coming through it. And I tapped in to this white wire. This is that extra white wire I was talking about earlier. It's all in, it's wired. It's up there. You can, so when you're up here, oh, and I have all of that wiring still in there. It kind of runs back there, up and through, in that way. And then I can go ahead and put this panel back on. And that's on, and now that's clean. And everything is just looking clean now. Here's the panel that's inside the car. And this is the Ethernet connector. And this little mark right here where I've got is where I'm going to put the Ethernet connector. I'm going to drill a hole in this, mount it up. You can see here on the back it's kind of, this is a little thing here which I'm going to have to be able to get through, but I'll be using this guy right here. That is a step drill. If you ever need to drill big holes, get one of these. It is the most fantastic. It goes through metal, it goes through plastic really easily, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now.
7 hours driving on the highway, far away, far away, far away. Every moment I was spending on regrets was such a waste, such a waste, such a waste.
Okay, we're back. You can see this here. It's nice and clean. It looks really good. I mean, nobody's really gonna notice that's there, and I like clean. So this you can just kind of put through here, and we can just pop that in right there, and it's in. So there it is, just kind of hidden away underneath the dash. I can just take this guy here, unscrew it. It'll automatically pop up. And then the radio unit, which is right here, just can plug in right here. And it's unobtrusive for the passenger. And then this guy can just hang just like that. So I'm trying to figure out where to install this guy. And I don't want it to be permanent either. The thing is that the mirror itself is too fat for this hook to fit onto. They did send this little guy with it, and so that would be perfect. So I saw this plastic piece here, which covers this sensor right here, and I pulled that off just with this tool. Just right up top, pulled it, it pops up, and then you push down on it, and it comes off. If you look up here, there's a lot of space right here. So there isn't a lot of space down here. And so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to basically put that mount right about here where there's plenty of space so that I can essentially have this guy on here, and then this guy will disconnect and reconnect pretty easily, and it'll just be hanging up on this guy. So that's what I'll do next. Get this guy up, put a little piece of 3M double-sided tape on it and tried to kind of dull it up so that it kind of works, but it doesn't work, so that that thing doesn't flail around while I'm doing whatever. So this kind of comes on at the bottom and then push up on it, and now it's locked in. So now that sucker's in. So this guy, if I want to use it, I can hang there like that. But the most important thing is this guy. The Gear Keeper, gearkeeper.com. I bought this on Amazon. They're pricey, but they're really good quality. So this guy can go on right here, like that. And then this guy plugging in right here. Oh, it's hard to do with one hand, but there we go. So that's it. And so now that guy can just pull. You can use it. It's connected down here to our connector. And we got the dogs going nutso. And so that's how that's gonna install. So let's see if we can get this guy to turn on. So as you guys saw, it wouldn't turn on, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So, you know, when things are not going right, you have to troubleshoot. And I checked the power is fine. And so I started eliminating possibilities, and I plugged the hand unit straight into the radio, it worked. Then I started eliminating parts of the chain, and this guy worked, the cable worked, but it ended up being the coupler. The coupler was bad. So luckily I had a second one sitting in a drawer, used it, and now when we turn it on, it's on. So anyways, we got our radio working now. And it's all good. Okay, we're done. It was a heck of an install. It could have been a lot easier, but I made it hard on myself because I wanted to hide things. I like to have things really clean, and I like to have things look factory. So it took a little more effort, but it's finished, and I'm happy with the results. They work really well. Let me give you a little walk around now of the result, and we'll be done. There she is, our Midland radio, GMRS 15-watt built-in radio. She's hanging up right there, and I can take her in and out when I need to. It's mounted up under the driver's side, way up under there. It's powered by the auxiliary battery, so it's never going to kill the regular battery. We've got our antenna mounted right here, and that is a Midland radio, and it twists off, which is nice, so that we can put a ham radio antenna on there. And then when we come over to the other side, when I want to take this down when I'm not using it, really easy. All I have to do is, well, first turn the radio off, unclip that, undo that, put the cap back on, and then this guy can just go in here, out of the way. Oh, and one last thing, because I don't want to have this thing stolen. Very easy to just unscrew it. And throw it in there also. And now it's like I don't even have a radio installed. That's it. Hope you enjoyed that video. Please follow or subscribe and like if you liked it. And you know what? If you hated it, go for it anyways. All right. Take care.